Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your Astroflower reading. This is going to be an Astroflower reading from the 21st up to the 28th, so up to the end of February. I hope you've enjoyed your week. It's had that moon come out again, that moon from Leo, I think it is, and it's been very fiery, been really on the case, which you would have felt under the surface. So you might have subconsciously, it might be playing on you. We've had a lot of coronal holes come through, which you might have seen on Somatic TV. So that might have felt a bit of pressure coming in from the outside world. This is all according to your Astroflower and your qualities and your elements that are in the descriptive below, and you'll be able to sort of see all this because it'll help you. Because in this first video, we will be clarifying the cards according to the elements and the qualities within your flower. So without further ado, let's get straight in there. Nice card to start with, Two of Cups. On the spiritual path, so the universe is trying to influence you. On the physical side, may need to take a break, maybe been doing a lot. They're trying to encourage happiness, the universe really are. Look at that, Two of Cups and the Sun. The Two of Cups, the combining of that is actually creating the Sun. The yin and the yang. It's the two sides of you. Or not you, it could be a couple. And it's creating, happiness. That's what the universe is really trying to encourage you at the moment. Lover's card, I think it's between you and a couple. So it's you're going to be falling in love this week. Seven of Swords on the physical side. I think that ties in with the Four of Swords. So, it could be a case that the universe is trying to encourage you to be really happy about life, as much as it can be quite difficult at times. On the physical side, it could be a job that's come to an end, that's no longer serving you, that you could really do well with walking away from. Let's just see where these all sort of pan out. Well, an incredible tale of two stories here. Two sides of the story. Really stark difference. So let's just go through it. On this side, you have air and water. So at your base on your karmic path and how the universe is trying to influence you, you have that clockwise direction on this card here, with cardinal air going around and cardinal water coming down there. So it's going anti-clockwise direction. So it's actually helping you to sort of look forward. That's what your elements are doing. And with this Ace of Swords, it's probably it probably looks like it could well be the most important thing for you for this coming week, that Ace of Swords, this karmic path of seeing that long-term goal, of seeing how you can just fall in love, because that's what the universe is trying to encourage you. And this is how your guides are trying to help it manifest. You couldn't get two better cards to go between how your guides and the universe interact in order to make your karmic path. The third card is the card of your guides that are trying to help you to encourage and elucidate that conversation that is within you. Let me just show you again that card, because she's got the wind at her back and she's got a hand on the on her sword like a rudder, and she's guiding this ship across I would say oceans, but it's across the sky because it's a real Libran card. And as they're doing that, she's showing her colors. She's showing who she is. She's got her emotions under control. And maybe that's it. When you go into this new relationship that appears to be happening for a lot of you, or it could be the rebirthing of a relationship that you're in at the moment. I think it's more to do with two people. If it's not your case, it could be a case of falling in love with yourself. That could be really important. And realizing that if you can see right through that, if you can use that to manifest that within your mind and get those victories in place for you of progressing yourself, it'll be easier for you to fall in love. Yeah? because the ultimate goal is stability. It's sitting in your power of, he's got his hand on, it looks like a bishop or a tower or statue. And it's like the emperor has done something and he has taken his rightful place. He's gone through that death experience of dying off and actually risen from the ashes. That's what it's sort of saying there, with the wisp of the Holy Spirit, as it were, or the energy coming through. So on your spiritual side, it looks really good. It's just not tying into your physical side. So on your physical side, as I say, the universe is trying to encourage happiness within you, and it's encouraging it. It's not necessarily giving it to you. That's what it's encouraging you on your path. And maybe it's a case of taking time out. Maybe you have been working too hard. Or you've been in a situation, which I think this is more of a case, a situation like a job or a business or a project where you felt like you were not necessarily misunderstood, but you might have misunderstood the world around you. And it's asking you, and your guides here are sort of trying to encourage to be a little bit wiser, a little bit more sort of select or cunning in how you interact with the world around you. And, this is meant to be a lying, cheating, scheming thing. And it could well be one of the cases for one of you, a few of you, that in the world you've been conned, or, someone's taken you for a ride financially or materialistically. And, it's time to, and your guides are sort of saying, make that decision to walk away. And it might be hard. It might be really, really hard for you to do that. But if you do walk away from something, your guides, and this is your inner being, your guides is going to let your inner being be at peace to go across those choppy waters and go to that new land, that new start, that journey where you can actually, provide healing for yourself. Because that is redoing your heart. And I think on the physical side, where you've got air and earth, things, if you do something, if you think this is how it should be, you're going to want it to physically, this is how it could be. And working with the outside world, it might be a case of you thought that you were working to a certain plan, and actually the end result was not that, and you just found a little bit miffed maybe by the whole situation. And you might have to just kind of go, do you know what? Don't really need that in my life. That's what you need. Happiness. More of that, please. But in order to do that, you have to walk away from things that are hurting you. So I would quite happily just allow it to dissolve. Any sort of negative connections you have in regards to job. And it may be just a case of sort of working in a job and sort of kind of going, I'm not really going to interact with that person, just leave it be. And just get on, quite happily do your job, because something is definitely coming up for you in the coming future. And it'd be interesting to see how your reading bears out in the coming 2 weeks. What you do have underneath here, in this crossing point here, underneath the Emperor and above the Six of Swords, is that cardinal air that comes up like that, and that mutable fire that comes across it. So the mutable fire is from Sagittarius, which is your neighbor, and it's very out there, going out there and involved in everybody. So that's what it's trying to encourage you in the subconscious level, but you have control over that. You have control how much that mentally disrupts you or causes you sort of stress within the physical world. Because on the spiritual side, you have that Queen of Swords, who is that cardinal air coming up through you. So you have a lot of control over the situation. And I think that comes from the Emperor. I'll get there in a minute. from the Emperor. So it bodes well for you in the future, but it looks like there's an issue that you do need to deal with on the material side of life. The quicker you deal with that, the better you will be in the future, because that sun is what is coming through. So you should understand from this is probably the summary of it, is as long as you are okay, everybody else can be okay. So don't forget to make sure that you are okay, and realize that other people, regardless of who they are, they're on their path. You're on your path. If you give over too much to the rest, to their path, you're not going to be doing your path. And that's where you might feel a little bit disappointed, and you do need to walk away from something. But on the spiritual sort of side, I think that's going to outweigh that physical side, and will make you feel a lot better, especially with that cardinal earth coming in from Capricorn. So it'd be interesting to see how this plays out with the elements through Cymatic TV in the coming week. See how this affects your cards. I will be doing the second part of this video, which will be linked in the comments below, pinned in the comments below. And we will see what's happening when we clarify with the little tarots. So you got the 7 of Cups already. If you want to know what those choices are all about, make sure I'll see you in that second video. In the meantime, Scorpio, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.